Hello dears, welcome to Beauty by Heart. I'm Lilian, also known as Lulu. Today I'll be sharing with you dears the DIY Dupe palette again, and the palettes will be the Colourpop Love Struck palettes. These are already available at Colourpop website. These are their newest products. It's a quiz eyeshadow, comes in a rectangle eyeshadow palette with square eyeshadow pens, retailing at 10 USD each. And when I look at their website, a lot of them has already sold out. For duping Colourpop's palettes, I am challenging myself to only dupe within their Colourpop's colours. If I can find a close match with the original Colourpop palettes within their own colours, then I will skip their palette away because I already own the colours. If you dears are Colourpop fans and already own a lot of Colourpop colours, you may like to do this as well because I find that Colourpop is duping themselves too. And in this video, I'll be sharing with you what are the dupe colours, the hand swatches, and my final thoughts, whether I will get these palettes or not. And so, let's get started! Hello dears, this is a reshoot. My file was corrupted, so I have to reshoot this part. I'm basing on quite a lot of photos to come up with the dupes, especially from Trendmood Instagram photos, the Colourpop website photos, and also the Makeup Just For Fun videos. I will link Makeup Just For Fun video on the iCard and in the description box below because I'm using a hand swatch photo as the illustration photos and comparison over here. This is Amore. And the color story is Plum and Mauve, which is my cup of tea. I really like this color story a lot. Out of these 5 eyeshadow colors, there are 3 that is with the asterisk sign, meaning they are not safe for the immediate eye area, which are the first color, Passion, which is a pressed pigment, the middle color, Affair, which is a pressed glitters, and also Darling, which is also a pressed pigments. Let me start off with the first color, Passion, which is described as a matte dusty mauve. The day when I'm reshooting these segments on the website, this is already out of stock. Over here, the dupe for the Passion, I found it from their single eyeshadow, Made to Last, which is the color over here. This is a matte neutral mauve. Comparing these two colors together, the original, which is Passion, and this dupe color, the dupe color seems to be a little more pink than the original color. This is the second color, Romeo, which is described as a matte sparkle pinky mauve with pink and violet pinpoints. Their matte sparkle formula are this matte formula with glitters. Over here, this is the single eyeshadow, Pretty Cruel. Pretty Cruel can also be found in the It's My Pleasure palette. This is a matte sparkle berry mauve with gold flakes. So when I compare these two colors together, the Romeo and this Pretty Cruel, I find that they are almost a spot on. Very similar to each other. Now this is Affair, which is a pressed glitters. It's described as a pressed glitter berry with copper, violet and blue glitter. I don't really like pressed glitter, so I'm not going to find a pressed glitter formula. Instead, I'm going to replace it with a metallic formula, which I found it over here, also from their single eyeshadow, Heads or Tails. And the more I use this color, the more I like it. So I was wondering why didn't I use it more often in the past. So now I'm going to use it more. Anyways, if I were to compare this original and the dupe color, actually, it's not a very fair comparison. It's like comparing apple to oranges. The dupe seems quite a pretty spot on from the hand swatch photos as well as on the palette photos. But I think in real life they are really very different. Because I can see the violet glitters on the hand swatch from the original colors, but there is no violet glitters over here. But the color base is almost the same. This is the fourth color, Woo, which is described as a metallic plum. And again, from their single eyeshadow, I found this color, Pinky Promise. This is the color, which is a metallic wine purple, which is over here. Comparing the two colors together, the original hand swatch photo seems to be darker, and this dupe color seems to be more red and gold compared to the original color. And when I place these two colors side by side, they actually look quite similar to each other too, just that the fourth color is slightly darker than the middle color. This is Darling, which is a matte rich warm violet. in the pressed pigments form. I found the dupe from this palette Bye Bye Birdie, which is in the color Hero Chic. This is a matte true magenta color. And this is a pretty much spot on. So my thoughts for this Armor palette is, although I'm very attracted by the color stories, I am not so impressed by the finishes because out of 5 eyeshadow colors, 3 are not safe for the eye area. While I still can accept the pressed pigments formula, I don't really like the pressed glitter formula. So to me, that's quite a waste because I already wasted one color, which is the pressed glitters, and for the rest of the 4, I can already find dupe over here. And I will skip away this Armor palette. And I just realized I got a earphone over here. Let's talk about the palette dupe. Palette is a grey gunmetal palette. And this is the hardest dupe for me to find because I don't really like grey, I don't really like gunmetal, so I don't have that much of this kind of colors. And this is the least similar dupe because I don't have this much of colors. So in these original colors, it starts with Novel, which is described as a metallic icy ivory color. And here with me, I have their single eyeshadow in the color Watch Out. And I can't find this in their website anymore. And this is the color. This is a metallic ivory color, so comparing these two colors together, I find that the original colors Novel is more icy, whereas this is a little more warm. If you just happens to hear a lot of plane noise flying around, I'm so sorry about that because this is their schedule. They are flying every day. Second colors will be Epic. It is a matte true taupe color. And for me, I found these dupe colors over here, which is in the color Stranger from the Stone Cold Fox palette. This Stranger color is described as a matte pale dusty pink, which is this color over here. And comparing these two colors together, it seems like the dupe color has more pink than the original one, but they both look very similar. This is the third color, Drama. This is described as a metallic icy gunmetal. And this is one of the hardest color I can find because I don't really have this kind of gunmetal color. This color changes on every photos. So the nearest I can find will be from this palette Perception in the color Titus. And this is the color over here. I find that the color alone, if I were to compare this dupe color with the original color, this may seem a little darker. At the same time, I find that if I were to mix a little silver, then it will be more similar. But the thing is, I don't usually mix two colors to come out with a dupe color because I find that it may be inconsistent to mix two colors with different amount. So one side will appear maybe lighter or darker or slightly different tone than the other. So that's why I still keep to this color alone. Next is this color Fate. This is described as a matte sparkle charcoal grey with silver glitters. Over here with me, I have the dupe from this Smoke Show palette, and this is in the color Slanted. This is a matte formulas without the glitters, and this is a matte charcoal grey color. And I find that this is pretty much a spot on dupe, given that one is with glitter and the dupe is without glitter. But anyways, when applied on the eyes, the glitter can't be seen anyway. And the last will be the Pros. This is described as a matte sparkle jet black with silver glitters. And I've already used this dupe a number of times. This is Night Dream. This is a matte sparkle black with pink, gold and silver sparkles. I find this color from this Smoke Show palette. And this is also available as the single eyeshadow. And this is the color Night Dream. So as I mentioned, because the sparkle will disappear on the eyes, basically they are just matte black eyeshadow. So I find that this is an exact spot on dupe. So this is palette, and I find that for myself, I'm not interested in this kind of color stories. At the same time, if you already own this Smoke Show, I find that you can skip away this palette as well. And if you already own the Natasha Denona Glam palette, you can also skip away this palette. This is the Cherished palette. This is a cranberry and rose palette. And this is the second most attractive palette to me because I like rose color. The first color is Destiny. It's a metallic rosy champagne with silver glitters. Over here with me, I do not have the metallic with glitters formula, but I have the metallic colors. This is the metallic light pink color, which is over here. Comparing these dupe colors with the original color seems to be more champagne, and this dupe color seems to be more whitish pink than the original color. And this is Adore, which is described as a matte rosy nude color. So here with me, I found the dupe from this Element of Surprise palette in the color Labyrinth. This is also available as a single eyeshadow, which is described as a matte dusty pink. Comparing this dupe color with the original color, this dupe color seems to be a little more pink than the original one. This is Faith, which is a metallic cranberry color with a gold flakes. And here with me, I have this Peace of Mind. And this is a metallic cranberry color and with a gold flake too. So to me, when I compare these two colors together, from the original Hand Swatched Photos and this dupe color, I couldn't really see any difference. I think this is a pretty spot on color. Now this is the color that I find the most difficulty to dupe. This is Precious. It's a matte sparkle formula, a matte finish with glitter. This is a soft cranberry color with gold glitters. The difficult part for me to find this dupe color is this color seems to be different in every photos. On some photo, it seems to be brighter. On the other, it seems darker, and some photos seems to be more red. So I'm quite confused. So anyways, I found this matte finish single eyeshadow from Colourpop. Yeah, all these colors are from Colourpop anyway. This is Hot On. This is a pressed pigments and it's a red color. Still available on their website, which is this color. I can't really compare this dupe with the original colors because I find that the original color turns out very differently on each photos. This is Forever. It's a matte chestnut brown. I found the dupe from this palette, the Sandstone palette, which is also in the square eyeshadow pan. This is the Big Butt color. This is a matte brass orange color, which is the color over here. So if you want to compare these two colors together, the original seems to be a little more red and brown than the dupe. So overall, Cherished is the second palette that attracts me the most. At the same time, after duping this, I find that, okay, I can skip away this because if I were to look at the color individually, I am not really very attracted, and this is not rosy enough for me to like. This is Crush, which is a copper palette. This is the palette I found a lot of very similar dupes, and this is the closest dupe out of these 5 palettes. Referring to this original Hand Swatched photo, the first color is Bow, which is a matte pale peach color. Here with me, I have the dupe from this palette, Double Entendre, which is in the color Locked and Loaded. This is a very matte pale peach yellow color, which is the color over here. I would say comparing the two colors together, this is a rather very spot-on dupe, very similar, very closely matched. Second color from this palette will be Love, L-U-V, and this is a matte deep peach color. I found the dupe from this single eyeshadows, Koi, which is a soft, warm, matte orange, which is the color over here. Comparing the original with the dupe color, the original color seems a bit darker than this color. This is the third color from this palette, Arrow. It's a metallic copper color. I found the exact dupe color. In fact, I couldn't tell the difference between these two colors. Which again, this dupe color is from this Double Entendre palette, Teddy Bear. This is also a metallic copper color. I can't tell the difference. I'm wondering again whether these are the same color with a different name. Struck. is a matte sparkle terracotta with gold glitters. This dupe here, Martian, is their single eyeshadow. And this is also a matte sparkle finish, which is also in terracotta color with gold glitters, which is the color over here. Comparing the original color with this dupe color, the original color seems a bit brighter and more brown than this. But overall, they are still very similar. And this is the last color, Cherished, which is a matte chocolate brown. Again, from this Double Entendre palette, I found the dupe. This is also a matte chocolate brown, which is rather a spot-on color as well. And I can't really tell the difference. So my thought for this crush is, this is a very natural, neutral, warm eyeshadow palette. You can use this color every day, but since I found a very close dupe, I can forget about this color because I already own the colors. And this, if you already have this Double Entendre palette, you can skip away the crush palette because most of the dupe, I found it from this palette. This is the Lyric palette, gold and bronze palette. This is the second closest palette I'm able to do. Let's start with this Melody, which is the first color of the palette. It's described as a metallic vibrant gold. Seriously, when I saw the hand swatched photos, I don't see that this is very vibrant. And I'm able to find a dupe from this Grandeur palette with this color, House. This is a metallic pale gold dust color, which is the color over here. If I were to compare the two colors, this dupe color seems to be lighter than the original one. And the next color is Ode. It's a matte golden brown. Again, I pull out these bare necessities for the dupe. This is the color Velveteen, which is described as a matte tawny brown color. I don't think this is a very closely matched color. I find that the original color seems to be a bit more warm and also more yellow and darker than this dupe color. In this palette, there is one color with asterisk sign, meaning that this is not safe for the immediate eye area, which is this color, the middle color over here, Unsung. It is a pressed glitter iridescent silver and gold glitter. Again, I don't like pressed glitters, so I find a metallic colors to replace the pressed glitters. I'm able to find a dupe from this Stone Cold Fox palette, Sentiments to Be. It's not exactly the same as the original color. This is a metallic cool brown color. It has similar tone with the original color, which is a pressed glitter. But it doesn't have the gold and silver glitters on it. Next will be this color Cello, which is a metallic true bronze color. And here I found a dupe from their single eyeshadow, Sparkler. This is a metallic copper bronze, which is the color over here. Comparing these two colors, they look very similar. And the last color of this palette will be the Verse, which is a matte deep brown color. And again, from their single eyeshadows, I found this color Cloud 9, which is a matte plummy brown. And the dupe color seems to be darker than the original one. So again, for this Lyric palette, I find that this actually leans a bit more to the cool side, even though there is some gold and some warm chocolate brown. But probably it's because of the middle shade, which is the pressed glitters. It makes the whole palette seems to be a bit more tilted to the cool side. Cool brown natural palette is not my cup of tea, and since I'm able to dupe this, it is not on my mind anymore. Especially for you dears who already have this Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette, you can already skip away this Lyric palette. Okay, this is my final thoughts. When I first looked at the new release photos from the Trend Mood, I was actually quite excited for this range. My first thought is to get them all because they are so cute. I saw quite a number of comments stating that these 5 eyeshadow palettes from Colourpop looks very similar to the Natasha Denona mini palette. I don't find this an issue because firstly, Natasha Denona didn't trademark this packaging. Secondly, Colourpop included some prints on the transparent lid. And thirdly, some other brands are also using this kind of packaging like e.l.f. So packaging to me doesn't really matter as long as it is functional and it is safe. And regarding the color stories, I find that because these are the latest release from Colourpop, which comes in the mini packaging, they are playing it very safe. And in fact, their color stories are not very different from their existing palettes. They just reduce it and make it a mini palette. No doubt some of the colors are my cup of tea, but I was telling myself, dupe the color first, and if I have the dupe or if I'm able to find a very close match colors, then I can forget about the palette. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm able to find all the color dupes. I would love to think that they will come out with more colors in the future in this kind of palette, the mini palette, and hopefully they can come out with a more fun and more interesting color stories in the near future. When I was taking a look at the photos, I was also thinking that all these 5 eyeshadow palettes look like the Tati palette split into 5 mini palettes. I'm squeezing all the color dupes over here, especially at this portion here. It seems very much like the Tati palette. So I guess dears, if you already own the Tati palette, which I don't, you can also skip away these 5 mini eyeshadow palettes from Colourpop. And since I'm duping these palettes within Colourpop Colours, if I were to extend it to other brands, I'm much able to find a closer dupes. So the color story is really not very unique. It is a very safe color stories to be used every day. And dears, if you are under budget or a makeup beginner, then maybe you can consider trying this e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palette instead. These are the quads in rectangle form, and they have very similar color stories to the Love Struck palettes from Colourpop, and these are definitely much cheaper. If you can find these e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes in your country, then good for you. You can skip the Love Struck palette. But if you don't, like I don't have these palettes in my own country, I engaged shipping agents to buy this, and it took me 3 months to receive it. So if you do not have these eyeshadow palettes in your country, then you can weigh yourself whether buying e.l.f. will be more worthwhile or the Colourpop will be more worthwhile. Anyways, mini palettes are always good for makeup beginners, especially when they are very affordable. As I mentioned in the beginning, each of these mini eyeshadow palettes are retailing at 10 USD, which I find that the pricing is a little weird because for a 9 pan eyeshadow palettes, Colourpop is selling them at $12 or sometimes $14 depending whether this is a collaboration items. Their usual price will be usually $12 for 9 pans. And these are $10. I find that I do not know whether they have bigger eyeshadow pen size. $10 for 5 pans eyeshadow palette seems a little expensive, and I hope that they can actually price it under $10. And again, I can skip all these 5 palettes because I have already found a dupe, but I am definitely excited to look forward for their future release of this mini series. Dears, it's your turn to share with me now. What do you think of these 5 mini eyeshadow palettes from Colourpop? Do you like the color story? And have you already picked them up? Please comment in the comment section below, yeah? Thank you so much. And last but not least, here's an inner beauty tip for us to be more beautiful and more wise. Overthinking is the biggest cause of unhappiness. Thank you so much for watching, dears. If you happen to like this video, please consider to subscribe. Here in my channel, I'm focusing on makeup products review. Now I'm doing a lot of dupes that eyeshadow because I'm cutting down buying eyeshadow palettes, and also some makeup looks. If you are interested to find out more, please consider to subscribe. Thank you so much, and may you dears have a peaceful, blissful and joyful week ahead. See you next time. Bye! And before you go, please watch these 2 videos over here. Thank you!